Welcome to IELTS 18 Test 4 Passage 2, The Growth Mindset. This passage has 13 questions in total, with 3 types of questions. The questions are divided into keyword location and logical comparison. Knowing the question types helps you answer more efficiently. The article has 10 paragraphs. It is an argumentative essay about the growth mindset. From passage 1 to 3, introduces the theoretical basis of the growth mindset. From passage 4 to 5, discusses implementation problems and criticism. From passage 6 to 9, explores misunderstandings, intervention effects, and conclusions. The heat map shows that most questions are concentrated in paragraphs 3 to 6. Let's look at question 14. It asks what we can learn from the first paragraph. Option A is about the origin, B is about when the change happened, C is about how scientists responded, and D is about why thinkers gave up the old idea. Please pause and try it yourself. The key point of the question is the main idea of the first paragraph, not a small detail. We need to find the paragraph's main topic, not one person's specific work. Let's locate the first paragraph. It starts by saying that over the past century, a powerful idea has taken root. Then it says intelligence is not fixed and can be changed with training. This is the main idea. Option A is a detail about Binet's work, not the main idea. Option C talks about how scientists responded, but the paragraph is about the change in ideas, not the response. Option D talks about why thinkers gave up the old idea, but the paragraph is about when the change happened, not why. So we can eliminate A, C, and D. So the answer to question 14 is B. Let's look at question 15. The question asks how schools encourage students according to the second paragraph. Option A is about personal goals, B is helping each other, C is having confidence in success, and D is focusing on strengths. Please pause the video and think first. The key point of the question is how schools encourage students. We need to find the specific action of schools in paragraph 2, not just general discussion about growth mindset. Let's locate the middle part of paragraph 2. The text says a major focus of schools is coaxing students away from seeing failure as an indication of ability, and towards seeing it as a chance to improve. Now let's eliminate wrong options. Option A personal goals is not mentioned. Option B helping each other is also not mentioned. Option D focusing on strengths is wrong because the text focuses on changing views about failure, not identifying strengths. So A, B, D are all wrong. So the answer to question 15 is C. Let's look at question 16. The question asks, in the third paragraph, what does the writer suggest about students with a fixed mindset? The key point is to find the characteristic of fixed mindset students. Option A says they are less competitive. Option B says they have low self-esteem. Option C says they only work hard with constant encouragement. Option D says they are afraid to go beyond their perceived limits. Let's locate paragraph 3. The text says fixed mindset students fear failure and lack effort. They only take on tasks that won't risk their sense of worth. Option A says they are less competitive, but the text doesn't mention competition. Option B says they have low self-esteem, but the text talks about fear of failure, not low self-esteem. Option C says they need encouragement to work hard, but the text says they lack effort, not that they need encouragement. So the answer to question 16 is D. Next, let's move on to the features matching section for Q17-22. Let's look at question 17. It says the methodology of the growth mindset studies was not strict enough. Please pause the video and try to match the statement with person C or D. The core of the statement is a criticism about the research methodology not being strict. The key words are methodology and not strict enough. Locate paragraph 5. Gilman criticizes that the research designs have too much freedom and can support any theory. This directly matches the idea of the methodology not being strict. So the answer to question 17 is C. Let's look at question 18. The statement says the idea of the growth mindset has been incorrectly interpreted. Please pause the video and choose from options A to D who made this claim. The key idea in the question is incorrectly interpreted. We need to find who thinks the growth mindset has been misunderstood. Note, this is not about the idea itself, but about who made this claim. Let's locate paragraph 6. Dweck says her work has been misunderstood and misapplied. She believes the growth mindset has been incorrectly interpreted, which matches the question statement exactly. So the answer to question 18 is B. Let's look at question 19. Intellectual ability is an unchangeable feature of each individual. Please pause the video and try to match the statement with person A, B, C, or D. The core idea of the question is, intelligence cannot change. We need to find who holds this view in the text. Let's locate paragraph 1. It says, progressive thinkers revolted against the notion that inherent ability is destiny. This means some people once believed intelligence was natural and unchangeable. So the answer to question 19 is A. Let's look at question 20. The statement says, the growth mindset should be promoted without students being aware of it. Please pause the video and choose the correct person from A to E. The core of the statement is, promote the growth mindset, but students should not notice it. The key words are subtle and unaware. Let's look at paragraph 7. Yeager and Walton say, interventions should be delivered in a subtle way. If students feel the teacher thinks they need help, the effect will be reduced. So the answer to question 20 is E. Let's look at question 21. The growth mindset is not simply about boosting students' morale. Pause the video and choose who holds this view from the list. The core of the statement is the relationship between growth mindset and boosting morale. Keywords are not simply and morale. Locate paragraph 6. Dweck worries her theory is being mixed up with the self-esteem movement. She clearly says the growth mindset is a tool for learning and improvement, not just for making children feel good. So the answer to question 21 is B. Let's look at question 22. Now question 22. Bates' research shows that the growth mindset has no effect on academic achievement. Please pause the video and choose the correct person from A to D. The core of the statement is, Bates' research conclusion, growth mindset has no effect on grades. Keywords are Bates and no effect on grades. Let's locate paragraph 5. Professor Bates tried to repeat Dweck's research and found the results were null. He said, kids with the growth mindset didn't get better grades. So the answer to question 22 is D. Next, let's move on to the yes/no/not given section for Q23-26. Let's look at question 23. Dweck has handled criticisms of her work in an admirable way. The key clue words are admirable way and handled criticisms. We locate paragraph 6. The author says Dweck deserves great credit. The text says she deserves great credit for responding to it and adapting her work accordingly. The author clearly praises Dweck's way of responding to criticism. This matches the statement's direction. So the answer to question 23 is yes. Let's look at question 24. Students' self-perception is a more effective driver of self-confidence than actual achievement is. Key clue words are, self-perception, more effective driver, actual achievement. We locate paragraph 8. The author discusses the relationship between self-perception and achievement. The text says, the actual effect of achievement on self-perception is stronger than the other way round. The statement says self-perception is a more effective driver, but the author says achievement has a stronger effect on self-perception. So the answer to question 24 is NO. Let's look at question 25. Recent evidence about growth mindset interventions has attracted unfair coverage in the media. The core clue words in the statement are unfair coverage in the media. Locate paragraph 9, scan for the anchor word evidence. The text says, recent evidence suggests growth mindset interventions are not the elixir of student learning and don't seem to work in the classroom. The author discusses the evidence and its impact, but never mentions media coverage, whether fair or unfair. So the answer to question 25 is not given. Let's look at question 26. The statement says, deliberate attempts to encourage students to strive for high achievement may have a negative effect. The core clue words are, deliberate attempts and negative effect. We locate paragraph 10. Here, the author discusses motivational posters and talks. The author says these deliberate attempts are often a waste of time and might give students a wrong idea about success. The statement says deliberate attempts have a negative effect. The author thinks these attempts are a waste of time and mislead students. The views match. So the answer to question 26 is yes. Now let's summarize the key strategies for this type of question. Trick 1. Watch for opposite meaning. The text says A, the statement says not A. That's no. For example, question 24. The text says the research design had problems. The statement says the method was not strict. That's an opposite meaning. Trick 2. Be careful with subject change. The text talks about A, the statement talks about B. That's not given. For example, question 25. The text says the growth mindset was misunderstood. The statement says students were not aware of it. That's a subject change. Trick 3. Spot the paraphrase. The text and the statement use different words to say the same thing. That's yes. For example, question 23. The text says intelligence is not fixed. The statement says ideas about intelligence changed. That's a paraphrase. Remember, when doing these questions, first find the author's view in the text. Then compare it with the statement. Do not add your own information. Now let's review the important vocabulary from this lesson. Keywords: innate, born with, supplant, replace, misinterpret, understand wrongly, morale, confidence. That's all for this lesson. I hope these tips help you. See you next time.